What's up, dudes and girls? We're here in the gym, some more team training. We got Lewis. Big Lou's gonna join us today. He's gonna want to put on some size. But before doing that, we're gonna go over some of the most bare essential movements that you can do in the gym, most functional, foundational building, and that's gonna be the Golden 5. And today we're gonna be doing the conventional deadlift. Now, Louis over here has done deadlifts before in school. He's done a lot of sports, so he's taken some weight training in school. Unfortunately, they don't really go over form and function too much there, so we're gonna do it right here. Hopefully you're ready. Are you ready, Lewis? All right, let's do it. So Lewis is 17, 6'2", 6'8", I don't know, he looks it. And he's 160 pounds. So yeah, he's ready to grow. And we're ready to help him. So we're gonna start out, he's already done some warm-ups on the treadmill here, just get his blood flowing. But we just wanna go over some a simple kind of warm-up to get in the proper form of a deadlift. And it's real simple, so it's just gonna be the band here. So if you have one of these bad boys, what you're gonna do is step just about hip width on the band here. You're gonna pull the band, you're gonna squat down, pull the band right behind your neck here, at the base of your neck. And then you're gonna get this position, keep that back nice and straight and rigid. And hips back. Just imagine like you're holding the bar here. And what you're gonna do is then push and then extend the hips up, just like so. Bring it down, push and extend the hips. So this is gonna be essentially the form that you wanna keep when deadlifting here. So it's just gonna kind of warm you up. Gonna feel a little stretch in the hamstrings. Gonna get used to that full hip extension at the top, and then also keeping that nice flat back. Once we get that down, I'm gonna want to have you grab the band in between the feet and then do the same movement, but then of course now you're actually pulling on something and it's getting tight in those back muscles up too. So we'll get you right in front of the mirror here. Get you in that proper position. All right, yep, just about put there. There we go, okay. So nice flat back, good. Yep, and so go ahead and stand and then extend, perfect. And then we'll just get you to go through quite a few here and really try to keep that pressure on that midfoot. Here we go, let's adjust a little bit. Go ahead, pick that foot up right there. This one here. There, yeah. That's it, good. And let's turn those feet in slightly. So you do want the toes pointed in forward in this one. Excellent, okay. Now that we're all set up, good. So I'll have you squat down a bit. There you go. And then with this one, it's not like a conventional squat. You're not actually pulling your chest up. Almost do a bowing forward position here. So that's the good thing about the band. Let the band kind of pull the chest forward, but you still want to keep that flat back. Good. Now push up and extend. Excellent, just like so. Good. Let's just kind of get a few of these. It's just essentially getting you used to that movement. So a lot of people make the mistake in a deadlift where they're actually feeling like they're squatting the weight up, when it's not necessarily that. The initial portion of the movement is a push, but then the rest is going to be a pull. So now I want you to do is go ahead and grab this band here. Okay, good, and do the same movement. There we go, yeah, it's going to be tough. So what happens is go ahead and release. Let's get a little bit more, yeah, go ahead and step on it once again. So let's get you in the same position, but we're going to get a little slack in here, so go ahead and, there we go, yep. And then step that foot there. Right there, perfect. Now, go ahead and pull it behind the neck. That's it. You're gonna feel that tension there, trying to pull you down, but now you're gonna grab it. Okay, right there. So same position, here we go. Pull it up, good, yep. Exactly, bring it down. So the initial movement is push the legs and then pull with the upper back, good. But keep those arms straight. So instead of pulling up, just keep them straight and then bring it down, yeah. So keep a nice tension in the arms, but you're not having to bend your arms like pulling it upwards. You're just letting the back tense up to hold that weight there. So when I say a pull, it's not necessarily like you're pulling with your arms, but you are pulling with the back here, and you'll feel that tension right in the lats here to help control that movement. So go ahead, bring it down, good. So push the legs and then extend, good, exactly. You should feel some tension there in the upper back and lats, and also the lower back is gonna be working pretty over time too, because that whole core is gonna have to be tense to stabilize movement. Let's get a couple more, here we go, up. Excellent, one more. And pull. Beautiful. All right, good. You can drop that, take that away. So now that you kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with the movement, we're gonna throw you on the bar here. So now that you're stepping up to the bar, there's a few things that you have to kind of keep in mind. When you step up to the bar, you want that bar to be right mid-foot. So if you're looking at it here, it should be about, the bar should be placed about mid-foot there. And it's gonna be hip width in the stance. So when you bend over in that same position like you did in the band here, so when you're bowing forward, pushing the hips back straight, the bar should be hitting right about on your shin bone here. So that's when you know it's the proper position. If you're too far forward and you're here, you're gonna be pulling and it's gonna throw you off balance. You're gonna put more pressure on the front foot. You want most of the pressure there on that mid foot there, so you get that straight pull. Much like, let's say, any kind of movement we were doing before. If you have to kind of move around or the body has to adjust, it's not getting the maximum kind of power because it's not getting that kind of straight pull. So the less effort the body has to do, the more you can pull, right? And especially in like this. So bend over here, and then you're gonna be grabbing it just outside the legs. We'll just go ahead and do an overhand grip on both. You'll see a lot of guys do it over under, but that's usually just for bar roll. So if you're going really heavy, the bar's gonna wanna roll out of your grip, so that's why they'll do an over under. But we'll just try to practice a double over, just to kind of get your grip strength up too. So it's gonna be here, and as soon as you start lifting, you're gonna wanna push at the legs, drive with the legs, and then once you reach about, just about to your knees, you're gonna wanna start pulling with the back and then extend the hips there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get you up here, Big Louie. All right, so get that bar about mid-foot there, good, hip width. Let's go a little further forward so you can see, yeah, exactly. Just about there. So go ahead and get in that bent over position just like we did with the band. Right there, good, back flat, neutral chin, nice tight grip. Okay, so when you first start out, kind of push at the legs. As soon as you get up to about here, start pulling and push through with those hips.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Beautiful. Make it look easy. That's it. Deep breath. And exhale at the top. Good. Bring it down. Get a little bit of a more neutral chin there. So chin is going to be about, kind of almost like you're looking down here. That's the neutral chin that we want. So once your chin starts coming up here, you'll notice a lot of people will do this, especially in squats too. So when you're pulling up here, your spine is out of alignment. So if you're getting heavier and heavier weight, you want to make sure everything's neutral, spine's neutral. So when you're pulling that heavy weight, you're not going to have any kind of impingements or pinches in there. So if you get used to kind of like, if you make a fist, put it right under your chin here, that's the neutral chin position. So if you're in this position, if you'd want to just double check, just kind of put your fist here, neutral chin, and then you can go here.
Okay.
All right, let's get a few more in here. You're looking good. There we go. Nice. Okay, a little break, and then boom. Excellent. Neutral chin, here we go. And pull. Good. So let's make a little adjustment here, Louis. Let's bring your feet. Your feet are starting to get a bit wide, and your toes are starting to pull outward a bit. So what happens is we'll kind of bring those feet a little bit closer and point them straight ahead. So in a squat, since you're coming all the way down here, that's when your toes naturally are going to be wanting to pull outward slightly, and your knees as well. Remember when we all went over that? If you haven't watched the squat video, check it out. So that's different because we're squatting down. With this one, we want the toes pointing forward and the knees always in line with the toes. But since you're not in the full squat position, you're going to want to keep those toes pointed forward, because if they start turning out here, it's kind of moving into more of a sumo deadlift, not necessarily like a conventional deadlift. So we'll get you into position again to fix that real quick. Yeah, so just about hip width there. Yep, exactly. Toes straight. Knees right in line with the toes the whole time. We'll get you to do a couple more just in this position right here. So here we go. Yep. Nice deep breath. Neutral chin. Neutral chin. There we go. That's it. So feel that really good push at the legs at first. Push, and then that's it. Perfect. Get a couple more here. Good. Deep breath. Pause. There we go. And exhale. That's it. Nice, man. Yeah, take a break. Good. That's awesome. Now, the difference between this and a lot of other lifts, and this is why it's called a deadlift, is because you're starting from the dead stop position. So you see, in like, let's say squats, for instance, comparable to those, is you're starting here, and as you bring it down,
you're kind of hitting that stretch reflex and the elasticity in the muscles. So you're actually pulling the muscles nice and tight as you bring it down, and it's building that kind of, like, just imagine a rubber band, and you're pulling that rubber band back. It's bringing energy in there, and then it can snap back. So it's kind of like what a squat is, but a deadlift is different because you're actually starting from the dead position where you're almost completely relaxed. The muscles are just, they have to kind of have that jump start. That's why this is pretty good for, let's say, sports, for instance. So if like you're playing football or even basketball, and you have to go from a dead stop position and like really quickly go into, you know, a sprint or get ready for something, that's what the same kind of muscle fiber is going to be reacting to. So much like a deadlift where you're going from that dead stop position, you have to bring a lot of that power and force right off the bat. So that's why sometimes this feels like it's a little bit more difficult, because you actually have to start the weight from the ground and then build that energy right off the bat. So yeah, you have any questions?
No, pretty simple.
Man, yeah, you rocked that. Hell yeah, good job. Big Louie at it again.
Yeah.
Now he's rocked the squats, he's got overhead press. Today was deadlifts, making it look easy. How's it feel?
Good.
Ready to conquer the world?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one deadlift at a time. So pros and cons, or what to do, what not to do. So things to go over, remember, Louie? So what you want to do is hip width on the stance. So your hip width means just the joint in your hip here. It's just going to be the same as your stance here. Toes pointed forward, and you want that bar right to be mid-foot. So when you lean forward, the bar's going to be about touching your ankles here, and you're grabbing it, overhand grip, right outside your legs. Keep your back straight. You want more of a bowing position, neutral chin. Just make a fist right on your chin here. That'll be neutral position. What you don't want to do is round in the back. You don't want to, let's say here, Louie, I'll get behind you. What you don't want to do is pull your hips up too much to start out. So if you're here and you get your hips high and then you're pulling here, then it's all just going to be in the back. There's no going to be leg drive in there. So you do want leg drive for the half of the movement and then pulling in the back of the rest. And you don't want the bar too far forward on your feet, so you're pulling from this position, because then again, it's going to be too much pressure on the back, and you don't want your chin up too high. So there's only a few. You know, of course, with a lift like this, there's so much involved in this, and there's different styles in it too, but this is pretty much that's why they call it the conventional deadlift. It's pretty much the one you need to learn to start out, at least my opinion. And yeah, so
with this, you don't really want to like pick a spot in the gym and stare at it while you're doing it.
Exactly, yeah. So if you, because you know, I went to high school,
yeah, that's what they tell
right?
us.
High school training, they always have you like, okay, look up, and then that's what you got to go for. So yeah, forget all that. Later on in life, you learn that they're kind of full of shit, but thankfully you got the buff dudes, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and watch Big Louie as he starts his journey on the bulking, you know, the bulking journey. What are you putting on? How much thinking? 20 pounds, so he's gonna be 180. That's the goal in 3 months. So now that we're going over all these, we still got pull-ups left, so look for that. And yeah, man, good job.
Thanks.
What do we tell him?
Stay buff.
Stay buff. You gotta get flexed though, ready? Stay buff. Yeah.